Paying to go on your hostel's bar crawl is a great way to meet people with no personality, cause the interesting ones aren't paying an extra 20 euros to be herded around like sheep by a woman in a bedazzled cowboy hat. But the pub crawl company's peer pressure game was so on point, it left me no choice but to film an investigative documentary. I'd put on their wristband, go undercover as a 22-year-old spending daddy's money, and see if there was any way I could possibly have fun. Nope. Turns out, being the lunatic imploring everyone to open their eyes is not a great way to get laid. No one appreciated me interrupting the LMFAO song, Party Rock Anthem, to show them my damning footage of what the pubs look like after we've crawled away. Apparently, when these people went to Florida State University, they didn't major in economics, and all made the argument that with the complimentary shots of tequila-flavored water they received, and complimentary admission to clubs that are so shitty they had to pay a company to bring people in, that they were all actually saving money. Anyone could see that if these were actually exclusive clubs, they wouldn't let me and this guy in. While no one appreciated me attempting to shatter the reality they paid for, I kept my eyes on the prize and knew that once I broke this story, the world was going to be rocked to its core by the shocking revelation that tourists were being ripped off. But then my journalistic presence started ruffling some feathers. Bar crawl management came up and asked me why I was extensively filming everything, to which I responded, because I don't want to forget these precious memories. Somehow that wasn't convincing enough for them, so they demanded to see my footage, to which I instinctively replied, "Do you have a warrant?" Because I've seen way too many First Amendment TikToks, and while I have no idea if Spain has amendments, I was prepared for the moment by all of the tense encounters I've had with mall security guards.
Major respect to this guy for being like, what are you gonna do about it? He knows his rights.
Eventually, the relationship deteriorated to the point where they started filming me, filming them, which as you could imagine, did not make me want to stop filming. Luckily, I somehow made it to the tour's grand finale, a club called Fuckin' Monday, which I was disappointed to find out was not a Garfield-themed bar, but instead douchebag-themed. And as I drank my complimentary shot of Pepto-Bismol, I had a brilliant idea. I would lead a rebellion. I realized there was nothing stopping me from forming a group of people, developing a better plan, and showing them an actual good time. So the next night I created the Viva La Revolucion bar crawl, a completely free pub crawl that would compete with the other one. I came up with an itinerary of places I've never been to but Googled and actual people seemed to like, bought a bottle of tequila that wasn't watered down, for us to start out the night by drinking on the sidewalk, and made a bunch of wristbands, all because they tried to intimidate me. We got wristbands, it's a free bar crawl, just despite the other bar crawl. So completely free. I have a bottle of tequila. I continued recruiting by going around the hostel's bar, quietly approaching people who were in line to sign up for their pub crawl, and talking them into going on mine instead. Surprisingly, I was actually getting people to agree to do this, and they were excited about it. More people were wearing the fake wristbands to go on my crawl than wearing the real ones. I signed up over 25 people for a parody bar crawl. Suddenly, the crazy guy ranting about how we needed to dismantle the pub crawl industrial complex didn't seem so crazy after all. But then I flew too close to the sun, and tried to get the staff of the other bar crawl to defect and come on my tour instead. As you could probably expect, that didn't go over well, and I got kicked out of the hostel. Apparently, it's against the rules to stage a coup against them, which makes sense because I was about to cost them about 1,000 euros in lost revenue. But hey, look, if I'm gonna get thrown out of a place, it's pretty cool that it was because I was trying to organize a union. My only regret is not getting footage of the whole bar going silent as I loudly screamed, "They're selling you lies!" as I was escorted out of the building. Before I knew it, I was sitting on the sidewalk, alone, with all of my stuff and no place to stay. The Viva La Revolucion bar crawl seemed to be yet another one of my failed dreams. But then a miracle happened. I'm such a perfectionist, I did 21 takes of this shot. And I'm method, so I was actually taking a swig every time, which got me very drunk, to the point where I started offering every stranger that passed me a shot of tequila, and I began to make friends with everyone on the street. The dream of revolution was alive and well. Soon enough, I was exploring the city, discovering all of Madrid's hottest alleyways, and hanging out with new friends that were actually interesting, like this guy who carried around a cardboard box and kept saying, "Trust nobody." It was the best night of my whole trip to Europe. So I guess if you want to travel the world and somehow see none of it and learn nothing, you can do that. But I'm the kind of person who'd rather go a little off the rails, make a bunch of enemies, and not give a single fuck. To quote noted philosopher and hypocrite, the pub crawl company Madrid's own Instagram page, the best nights are usually unplanned, random, and spontaneous. So I say you should keep your 20 euros, say hi to a stranger, and have the kind of adventure no company could ever sell you. Because the best bar crawls are the ones you make yourself.